Hey, it's me, Exirmaan. Yes, and welcome to the Shift Show. Today we're going to talk about the Namaste principle. Yeah, Namaste. You know what that means? Or yeah, you've probably heard it before, like people say Namaste, or Namaste. Um, you probably just think it's a cute way to say hello and goodbye in like Indian kind of style. But it's a lot more than that. And that's what I'm here to tell you about. But first, I'm gonna tell you who I am. I'm Exirmaan. Yeah, Exirmaan. That's me. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna share my screen because I got a special chart to show you here. Well, it's taken a long time there. Okay, there. And I got some things in the way, but I'm gonna move them out of the way. There. Okay, Namaste principle. Okay, let's start with number one. That's what it translates as. Yeah, to bend to you. That's to bend to you. Well, what does that mean? I mean, or what does that? It means humility is what it means. Yeah, you gotta be humble to bend to somebody else. And then number two, when you bend, the way you're supposed to do it is you put your hands like this, right? And you bow like that. Yes. Yeah. And so this is very special. That all that stuff right there, that's very special. I'm going to tell you. Okay, so the left hand, right? That's the left one, right? So you've got on the left hand, you've got let's see. Well, when you start from the thumb, you've got touch, you've got hearing, you've got here. I'll hold my hand like this: touch, hearing, seeing, smelling, and tasting, right? So you've got the senses, right? And the left hand is like your karma. You ever hear that word, karma? Yeah, karma. That's like, what it's like you can't. That's what you're given, like that's what you got to work with. Okay. Now you go to the right hand. Now here we have stomach, kidney, liver, lung, and heart, right? And that's like, those are the organs of your body, and that's like your action. In other words, this you have control of, and this is what you have to work with. You put them together and you bow. And it's that bowing is like a choice you have, you're choosing to, what you're choosing to do is you're choosing to see the divinity in another person. And it takes one to know one. Yeah. So you're basically like making an agreement, like we are God. And here we are. And what are we gonna do with that? Yeah, that's the big question. What are we gonna do with, our divinity? So, well, that's the question. All right, maybe that should be the name of this 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 vlog vlog. Yeah, it's a vlog because it's a video, right? So it's a vlogcast. Maybe it should be, what are we gonna do with our divinity? All right. Anyway, next point is we are the problem, humanity, us humans, we're the problem and we're the solution, right? All the problems we have in the world are because of us. Yeah. But because we're God, right? And that's that's built right into our name, human. Yeah, that's an Egyptian word. It means divine. human, we're divine man. Yeah. So we're, we can, we can fix all the problems that we made. Yeah. And this is the way, I think about it. And I got a little story to tell you, and it's about Maria Montessori. Yeah. So I was a Montessori teacher for 10 years. See, there are the fingers again. Yeah. And she was a remarkable woman. Yes, for sure. Yeah. She was the first woman to become a doctor in Italy. And that was quite a while ago. That was the late 1800s, like 1898. She was in medical school. And of course, all the guys who were in the medical school, that studying to be doctors, they didn't want her to be there. It was like, you're a woman, you can't be a doctor, young. That's unheard of. Well, she did it, I mean, it was hard because, they'd all be in there, dissecting the in the anatomy classes, and they wouldn't let her in there with them. She, it was like improper to have for a man and a woman to be looking at a naked human body, together side by side. So they put her, she had to do it all by herself in another room. Anyway, she got through it and she graduated with honors. Yeah. But still, you know what? Nobody would hire her. Nobody wanted to give her a job as a doctor. So this is what happened. The mayor of, there was this big low-income housing, like apartment complex that was built in Rome. This is in Italy, so it's in Rome. Yeah, Rome's the capital of Italy. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it was. Anyway, the mayor said, oh, well, the problem was that the parents, they were off working, right? And all the kids, they were vandalizing the apartment complex. Yeah. Yeah. And so the mayor of Rome said, hey, Miss Montessori, I don't know if she was married then or not. She said, do something with these kids, right? So Maria Montessori set up a school in the apartment complex, right? And this is the kind of woman. She was a remarkable woman. She was very high. They stopped the bonking there. Very high-minded woman, right? And she's at that time, she thought, oh yeah, I can get 5-year-olds to read, right? That was unheard of. I mean, it was in the same category of unheard of things as like, a man running a mile in less than 5 minutes. Back then, it wasn't until 1913 that the first person broke that record. So anyway, she was the kind of she was a very high-minded woman, and her belief that children could do this brought it out of them, right? So we got to do the same thing with our divinity, right? We've got to bring our divinity out of each other. Excuse me. There. Now I can tell you in a clearer voice, yes, we have to bring the divinity of each other out. And we can do that by bowing and saying namaste, and doing that with a lot of intention, right? There's another, I was doing some research on this, right? And one of the articles said, Namaste is like the harmonious resolution of conflicting tension. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Yeah. Well, so the harmonious resolution. So what's the conflicting tension? Well, this is the way I see it, right? So, we are, so I'll tell you another little story. So, when I was doing depth psychology, right, my psychiatrist, yeah, my psychiatrist, I guess that's what they're called, psychologists. He said, the way I see life is that it's like an equation, and on one side you have separation, and on one side you have oneness, right? We know that we're all, all the spiritual teachings of the world, they all agree that that it's all one energy, and then we separate, we coagulate into bodies and flowers and trees and animals and mountains and all that stuff, right? So that's the conflicting tension, is that we're under the illusion that we're separate, but we're actually one. We're actually all the same energy. So when we bow and we say Namaste, we're basically saying we are that oneness, but we are also that oneness exploring itself. And that's how then we pop up there, right up here to number 8. It's the divine exploring itself, right? They're kind of connected. That's what the Enneagram does. That when you get these things in the right place, then it all kind of connects and interrelates there. Yeah. So where is this all leading, right? So so we're seeing the divine in each other. Well, where it's leading is that this shift, right, that you hear people talking about, that humanity needs to shift, right? We need to go we need to jump in orbit there, with our evolution, in order to become the solution and not the problem, right? Once again, here's the line going back and forth there, back and forth. The 3 and the 6, they're relating to each other, right? That when we become the solution, then we become, instead of being perpetrators of the earth, we become stewards of the earth. Yeah. And that's why we want to shift, so that we can stop being the problem and being the solution there. Now, just the thing that's kind of interesting, and see, once again, it's connected there right to bend to you right there, that it's like the interesting thing is that this gesture, Namaste, is something that's not only said to people, it's said to God. It's the same gesture that between people as it is between a human and God, right? So it means it's a gesture that is shared between equals. So that means that we're equal to God, meaning that we are manifestations of God and that we are divine ourselves. Yeah. And because we are God exploring itself. Yeah, you, me as one. Yeah. And together we become, well, when we do this all together and we shift, see, when we're going right there, we're going back from the shift, we're creating that relationship again. That's what the Enneagram does. If you get these in the right place, yeah. As you get them in that, so now that you and me as one, what happens? What happens when we become the solution instead of the problem? We create heaven on earth. Yeah. And then we can live in the heaven on earth. And so can everything else. All of creation can live in. Oh, whoa. Yeah. Watch it there with the flying scarf. We got to watch that there. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Namaste principle as I see it. And I'm going to stop my share there. Yeah. And if you forgot, I'm Exirmaan. Yeah, that's me. And this is Welcome to the Shift Show. Yeah. And this is about the Namaste principle. And what were we saying? We were saying how are we the solution and not the problem? Yeah, something like that. Or how is the Namaste principle a pathway, going to walk down that road and do that a lot, like with some repetition, like we just keep, every time we meet somebody, we just bow to them, Namaste. We don't have to do it like, we don't have to make it obvious. We can just say, we can just like, yeah, and we can be like Maria Montessori, bringing the ability to read out of the 5-year-olds. We're bringing the ability of each other to be divine. Yeah, divine humans. That's the ticket. Yes. Well, I got a little excited there, but anyway, if you got any comments, put them below, and if you got any suggestions, put them below, and if you don't like it, you can put that below there too. But let's have a discussion, between equals, between the divine in you and the divine in me. Yeah, that's it for today. Exirmaan saying, Namaste to you.